This is MC Presents. Hello everyone and welcome back to MC Presents. Today I'm talking with Dre Soul. How you doing, Dre? You well?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing, Hims?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So, as everyone knows, like we're all in quarantine, lockdown, so doing my podcasts like the homemade style, just trying to like do them as like efficiently as possible.
Totally understand. We're gonna have to find different ways to get creative around these times.
But anyway, getting into our podcast. So you're a producer, rapper, musician. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you first get into music?
Like I would say around 2013 when I actually started to take full interest into it. And it's always been the thing of to have my own sound. So instead of like waiting on other people to do things for me, I just thought I would learn it myself and do it. I took a long route to even do a level 2 in college. That's how I started off, doing a level 2 in college, not knowing anything about music. Not theory, not production or anything. And it took me a year to even learn how to use the software. And this was Pro Tools at the time. It was a headache.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Down the years, I just started learning more and more. Hip hop always been a part of my life. Where I grew up, that's what we listened to a lot. And obviously listen to a lot of culture, Portuguese, Angolan music. And yeah, but hip hop always been there in the urban areas. So yeah, that's how I kind of started to get my interest up here, listening to Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, and Lil Wayne at the time. People like this kind of inspired me to just keep doing and send a message.
That's brilliant, man. That's like so awesome. So you just like basically went from like your level 2 and then now you're at university, like we're in our final year, we study and that, and it's just like, we're always grinding to get like ourselves to the better part of us. Everything you're doing like at the moment is so cool, like with all the events and like just pushing your music at the moment. It's just like just doing bits at the moment. How has your music style like differed across the years? Like did you start always like making hip hop, because you say it's like a big influence to you, but like were you like making other music at the time as well, or just always hip hop?
I'll say majority of the time I've done hip hop and then try to cross into different genres. Like, because I got inspired by different people for different art. So like, I would say the art of rhyming, I would say Tupac pulled me into that. The art of production, Kanye West pulled me into that. And obviously, like, I tried to combine that. And obviously, even though other rappers inspired me and other producers inspired me, I always use them as a main guidance to get there. So I started with hip hop, and then being more free with like knowing how to use software and knowing a bit more about music in uni, I started to experiment with R&B, which I know how to do now. I've even tried a little pop song, and I've remade like Afrobeat, and I've made my own Afrobeat. And yeah, and what I try to do is collab with other producers too, because sometimes, we're not good at something and they might just show us the ways around it. And yeah, that's how I kind of find my ways.
Yeah, man, definitely, for sure. Like, I always see you like in Visconti studio, like, collaborating with other like producers and musicians and singers and stuff. And, that's really cool. And like, as you say, you definitely learn new stuff from working with other musicians, producers in the studio, even if they're like more on the classical side of music.
I definitely think like piano is one of the instruments that you can do most samples from, and that and guitar. Like, but obviously when we talk about classical music, yeah, I love the piano, and obviously violins now. Because of that, like, I just love to include violins into a lot of my production. So yeah, it's definitely like it will push you to do something different.
As you say, like, you're working more in R&B. Would you like maybe push that as well, or just strictly hip hop?
Well, right now I'm working on on a production EP, which will include soul music, R&B, and hip hop. But the very small amount of hip hop, and I'm just gonna try and include a mainstream sound, hip hop, not hip hop, sorry, R&B, but obviously old school samples, but just upgraded in a way.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's, you know, whatever, like, you know, makes your EP sound cool. That's what you got to do. So yeah, it's cool to experiment with new sounds and, you know, different things from you're not used to. Like for me, example, I'm doing, for my professional project, I'm doing an EP and I'm looking more at sample based stuff within my music, within house music. So I'm looking at like old like 70s tracks, 80s tracks, like taking samples from those and then remixing them, reversing them, you know, giving like a really weird sound, you know, just experimenting with it, because I think that's like what you've got to do to improve your music sometimes, is just like do something so out the ordinary and just, you know, just see where it takes you.
Definitely. And I found myself like using samples from Bobby Caldwell, HoodFellaz, which Tupac sampled as well, Days, and then the rest is more just organic stuff that, you know, you just find on Splice, and sometimes you might just get a musician to play something for you that, you know, a melody that you like. Yeah, you just go with it.
When did you know you wanted to take music seriously and become a producer, musician, you know, and actually think like, man, you know, I'm going to actually like do this seriously. I'm going to like, you know, go into studios, you know, take my time with it, improve, do everything I can to make myself, you know, the best possible producer I can be?
Well, like at first when I started, I wanted to do it, but I didn't really know why I wanted to do it. And then obviously on that second year, when I was doing that level 2, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Somehow I got distinction just because I tried. Did that level 3, you know, was going through some hard times. I wasn't really going to go into uni, but one teacher was being very negative to me, saying I couldn't do it because I'm not a good student and whatnot. So I thought, you know what? Let me just prove a point and go myself. I don't know if this guy done some reverse psychology. I don't. But, you know, it took a lot of that to get me where I am. And then, like, going into uni, I'm sure that, you know, like, I felt like the first year, like, 2 times. It wasn't the work that was hard, it was the stage that I was at in life, it was hard. So, you know, when I came back, like, for the 3rd time, I just thought, you know, let me take this serious. And throughout, like, the 1st to now, the 3rd year, I just thought, okay, I got all this work ready because I've had like an EP or 2 that I've been holding on to, and I'm just looking for the right time to drop them. And obviously I knew I had to do something before that. So I started taking more serious. And my friends in my neighborhood, they kind of do music as well, they're rappers. And I thought, why not just put like a rap collective together and we do something? We done that, I got us together, we started HoodFellaz. And then I just thought like, you know what, the limit ain't even there. And before I even got HoodFellaz, I already had an idea of starting my own label, which is Focus Records. And I thought, why just stop our production and you know, being an artist? I want to have my own label. I want to call the shots. I want to be in charge of something that, you know, creative, my vision.
Why stop at being like a producer, musician or DJ? Like, you've got to do what you got to do. And like, labels are definitely a cool one, because like, if you're signed to your own label, you have the own rights to your music. You know, I mean, if you sign to a big label or an independent label, like, your rights to the music are sort of gone. What style of music are you like flexing at the moment, listening to? Like, any like new music you found recently that you're listening to?
I've been listening a lot to Kendrick Lamar albums, even though he hasn't released something recently. I always tend to go back to Pimp a Butterfly album because that's a inspirational album. I really like something from the UK which caught me by surprise, which then again shouldn't have, because I always knew that artist had talent. J Hus, his new album is actually amazing and I like it, and it just shows that you can do something different from what everyone's doing in the UK and still make it bang, if you know what I'm saying.
To be fair, like even myself, I listen to Kendrick. I listen to a lot of hip hop artists. Like that gives me inspiration. Yeah. Even though I don't create hip hop music, like Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, that album is just amazing. Like the sonic value, like the production value, like I love it. You know, like even though I don't create hip hop myself, that album is just stunning. Like honestly, it's so great.
And to be honest, like a lot of the messages that he's got on it are kind of like what I think, but he puts it in his own way, like everyone would. And I like it. I like the way he puts it, and it just opened my eyes to do it my own way, if you understand.
Definitely. I mean, like, you want to sort of like use him as an influence and, you know, try and like be creative and like try and use like some of his production values in your work. And obviously that's what great musicians do anyway. They take other people's, you know, they listen to other people's albums and then take inspiration from them to then work on their own albums.
Another album that I really like that I always go back to is Tupac's All Eyes on Me. It's a double album. This guy finished this album so quickly, and I'm just like, damn. Work ethic wise, I don't know if I could ever compete with this guy, but oh my god, that album is so good. Like, and it doesn't even sound rushed, but I know it was recorded in a very small amount of time. This is just like, I always like, to the people that I look up to, I always trying to reach their goals, and if not higher.
I can definitely see that in your work anyway. Like, you know, like the amount of stuff you're pushing at the moment is just crazy, like in a good way, obviously. It's just unreal. Like, maybe we should talk about U.M.S and your events, because they need a shout out. We need to speak about those, definitely. I mean, like, so how did you first think about like doing your own event at the university?
So U.M.S was just meant to be an assignment, and you know, the people that I was working with, some were doing the work, some weren't. And, you know, I ended up taking, let's just say 80% plus of the work onto myself, because no one else was doing. And so I done it. Everyone liked the night, that first night. So I started thinking business-wise, like, this can actually keep on going. I asked them same people if they really wanted to do it again, but serious this time. And you know, they said they wanted to keep us an assignment. So, you know, since I gave the name and the concept for the thing, you know, I took the idea onto myself, and, you know, I tried to build a team around it. The second time around, I got more people coming to the show to watch. I got artists from the uni, Arthur, Peaky, Seyon, Molly J, and countless more to come sing live, and people liked their performances, and you know, it stayed. And even in that day, I didn't have no sound engineer, and they themselves, they helped me, Molly J and Peaky, and you know, it was amazing. And then I just wanted to keep on going and do more events. And on our last year, I just found myself doing an event every month, which wasn't even meant to be the case. The demand for it was high, and I thought like, if I stop now, someone else will come and take over, or something I have started. You know, I've had people wanting to collab. I've done collaborations with STXV. I've had offers from the Come Up. I've done a collaboration with Electricity, and now I was going to do it with Stay Winning Promotion before this whole coronavirus case. And, you know, it was actually going to be the biggest show up to date, because the promotion to this was so big. Yeah, it was a shame. Even like, I'm not sure if he kept up, like even the posters, design, everything. It just looks way more professional now than what it was in the beginning.
I saw all the posters popping up on Instagram. They look so great, man. Like, honestly, I was like, wow, you know, this thing is getting big now. Like, you know, like it's getting massive. And like, obviously with the whole COVID-19 situation we're in, it had to be cancelled, which is like such a shame.
The good thing about it is that more artists want to get involved, and I've been having artists from outside London actually interested in performing. U.M.S, artists from different universities, And hopefully after this is done, we can continue on the deals that we had with other unis to have U.M.S at other unis too.
That would be so cool, right? I mean, like, you know, you just sort of like this branding is taken to a next level, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe start getting all these endorsements soon next. You never know. It could happen. Hopefully, like, as you say, like, you can get back onto these events and, like, you know, speak with other universities that are willing to let you do them as well. But do you think it's possible you could do that event again this year?
Definitely. My main priority is to make Kingston always the base, Hannafords always the home for it. You know, it's just the feel like you stayed there. When you hear like U.M.S, you like, oh, where is it? Yeah, it's over there in Hannafords. You know exactly where it is. Like, it will always be like the place that we'll go to first. Even if it's like a thing like come back every year to Kingston, I'll be so happy to do that because, you know, that's where I started and I don't forget my roots, if you get what I'm saying. Like, if they gave me the opportunity, I wouldn't leave it behind. I will always keep them involved. And it will be such a good look for the Kingston music and, you know, to build relationships and, you know, to keep it going for other students to come in the future. So, you know, because they will have assignments like this as well in the future to do as well. And just to have the base for them as well, so they don't have to do all that extra work. Only if they want, they can always find like something to do. They can build a society around it as well. They can always help push the events as well. And obviously, hopefully in the future, everyone like that works will be getting paid, just like we was about to do this time around. Everyone was gonna get paid for promotion, like ticket sales and everything. Hopefully in the future we can actually like be like, okay, I want you to be here on this day, £10 an hour. For students, that would be a good look because, you know, it's hard to find part-time jobs out there while you're studying.
Last question for today. If you could work with any producer, like famous or DJ or musician in the world, who would it be and why?
Their name varies?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Dre would be one of them, just because the amount of people this guy has worked with and the amount of career that he's built, and like he's got catalogs on his back, and obviously not just that, the knowledge, not just music-wise, but how to maintain yourself in the game. I think that would be a person that will give you his true and honest opinion on how to carry on. I'll definitely collab with Kanye West because his creativity is just something different. This guy is not scared to do anything that's abnormal, if you understand what I'm saying. He'll make something so weird sound good, in my opinion. And, you know, like he doesn't follow rules or restrictions.
Any other like influences you have, or those like the main two you have?
Main two and Timbaland.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because this guy is another creative and I think he would just use about anything to make a beat.
I like the people that you would like to collab with. So it was Dre, Timbaland and Kanye West, was it? Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, they're cool. That'd be a cool collaboration. You know, that'd be interesting. Yeah. I think we're going to end the interview here. So thank you to everyone who is listening to MC Presents, and thank you so much to Dre Soul, who was our interviewee for today.
Thank you, Ramo. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So yeah, thank you to everyone who is listening. Thank you to everyone who is listening on Facebook. This will be edited into a proper podcast, so I can put it onto my YouTube, or onto Low Shelf's YouTube, should I say. Also, don't forget to follow Dre Soul on Instagram at Dre_Soul3. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And your U.M.S, do you want to plug that real quick?
Sure. Just 1 second. That would be U.M.S_UK.
Okay, cool, brilliant. And don't forget to follow Low Shelf on Instagram at low_shelf, and keep up to date with our YouTube channel at low shelf on YouTube. Just type that in. But yeah, always, you know, stay tuned for our next episode on MC Presents. I mean, unprecedented times, but we're working with the technologies that we have at the moment. But yeah, thank you to everyone who was tuning in tonight, and make sure you come back for more content about, you know, up and coming artists and musicians in the electronic realm of music. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.